I'm Mark O'Donnell. A very good morning to you. 81333, the text 81333. Start your message with the word Wiltshire, or call 08459 513366. But it's been Prime Minister David Cameron has spent a lot of the year promoting this idea of what he calls the big society. That is to say, getting the community working together for the benefit of all. Now, of course, it's something that already goes on and has done for many, many years in many, many places. It's particularly evident, for example, in our example we're going to bring you now, in Aldbourne. In recent years, a very strong youth council has developed, but now their hard work is being used to benefit the village as a whole. So I'm joined in the studio by Matt Gibbs, who chairs the trustees of the youth council, and Ray Chapman, who has benefited from the whole idea, both from Aldbourne. Matt, Ray, welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for coming in. Matt, how did you get involved in the youth council?
I've been involved as soon as it started up. I was on the youth council, as in the youth committee, when it first came up. So I then moved on to the trustees from there. Mm-hmm. But it started off as the BMX project.
So it started off with a single project, which was to build a BMX track?
Yeah.
And then from there, what happened?
Well, we were having meetings to discuss the BMX track, so the meetings kind of continued, and they became more about our role in the village and the youth's role in the village. Mm-hmm. And from that, we kind of formed the youth council, and then we went through the phases of actually setting it up and getting charity status and all things like that.
So what's it moved on to, then, from a sort of single project?
Well, we moved on to the Aldbourne Youth Council, and then we kind of looked for another project to kind of get running, and a lot of people wanted an internet cafe. Mm-hmm. So we went to Pewsey and looked at theirs, and then we kind of came up with this idea of having a community room which had computers in and TVs and all sorts, which was a hub of the village. Mm-hmm. And we've got it now, and it's called the CAN. It's been up and running for over 2 years.
This is the Community Archive Net.
Yeah.
Or the CAN, as it's known. I say that it's the one that's in the refurbished public amenity.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah. Which is a perfect thing for it to be turned into. Why not? It's four walls and a roof, and it needs to be used. Ray, you're one of the people who's benefited from this.
I am indeed.
Whole idea. What's your involvement in this?
Well, I've been wanting to learn the computer for some time, and one evening I walked into the CAN and got introduced to the people running the youth council, and they showed me round. Very welcoming. Cup of coffee. Sat me down by a computer and introduced me to a young lad called Josh Brown, who's treasurer, 14 years old. And I had my first lesson with a computer, and 3 months on, I am now quite confidently using the computer, emails. I'm on Facebook. I can talk to my grandchildren.
You have a Facebook page, have you?
Yes.
Hang on 1 second. Let's put you in there on the show's Facebook page. We could become friends.
Complete.
We could do it while we're talking.
He's going to make you his friend.
There we are. Ray Chapman. Where are you? There you are. Look, there's your photograph.
Yeah.
Can I add you? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Add as a friend. Send request. Okay. You can pick that when you get back.
You could decline it if you want.
I mean, you can turn it down.
Completely up to you.
Feel free.
And I'm very pleased now to be part of the Aldbourne Youth Council. We ought to be really proud of this. We're trying to get more old people in, and the range is from 8 to 18, the youth, and you do get old people in, don't you?
Yeah, all ages.
And it's superb, and I think it's doing the village excellent.
Because there are areas, I mean, and I honestly think it tends to be overemphasised, but there are areas in which there are clearly difficulties that exist in communication between younger people and older people.
Absolutely.
That there is a tendency, and if you mention it right now, you get people saying, oh, they're teenagers hanging around the place and all that kind of stuff, and I don't want to talk to them because I'm scared of them. And then you talk to the teenagers themselves and say, well, they don't want us to be part of what they do, and we've got nowhere to go. And this seems to be a naturally evolved kind of idea rather than a solution to a problem, if you see what I mean. It's not saying we've got a problem, let's do something about it. It's just something that communities do.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is with the other things, it's about interest, because young people and older people, they don't have the same interests, obviously.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to computers, older people want to learn about them, younger people know about them and want to use them, and so that's where it comes in together.
Yeah, when we were talking about First Click a couple of weeks ago, the idea that it is well known, Ray, isn't it, that if you want to know how to use the DVD, find one of your grandchildren to do it.
Absolutely,
You do the old Groucho Marx thing. This thing is so simple, a 9-year-old could understand it. Somebody get me a 9-year-old, I can't make head or tail of it. It's just a natural kind of idea put into action where you don't have to actually be family members. You can just, as you say, you just walked in.
Yep.
You just wandered in and went, "Hello, I'm Ray, can you help me?"
Yep. Yep. And I'm being taught now by, if I get in the middle of a muddle, a young girl of 8 will come along and twiddle with the computer and say, "There you are." And I said to one evening, "What did you do?" She said, "Well, I just did that, and you're all right."
Yeah. It's a great idea. Is there any sense, because again, whenever this kind of thing again comes up in the news, it's always about division rather than people getting together, which is, I think, a shame. But is there any sense, Matt, in which there is people saying, I live in a village, I live in Wiltshire, this is not a big happening urban environment, there isn't enough to do, is there any sense in which there was any kind of need to sort out what was potentially a conflict? Or did this just come out of the fact that there are a lot of people there who just thought we're as involved in this community as anybody else is?
I think it's a bit of both, but I think as long as you've got that one thing in the middle, in this case the can, it can bring the whole community together. It's all ages. There's no one in the village that's not welcome. More to the point, there's no one in Wiltshire that's not welcome. We've got computer lessons starting next week, Friday actually, from 10:30 till 12:30, and they are free. We've got a grant through from the Swindon and Wiltshire Community Foundation,
who we spoke to earlier on in the programme.
We've got a grant through from them, and now we've got Wiltshire Enterprise, who are from Wiltshire College, their tutors coming in to teach people how to use computers for free. Any age, whatever you are, whatever experience you have, you can come in, you can use the computers.
What do you get out of it yourself, as an individual?
Well, before, I've got, as an individual, I've just got loads of experience, I think. With the Youth Council, you get experience in all sorts of things that I probably wouldn't have done before. I mean, the amount of letters I had to write as a Youth Council member, I've learned so much about how councils work in a way as well, because I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't have got involved.
No, they're complicated beasts, aren't they?
But on a bigger thing of what we've achieved is that the amount of awards that we've won and that we are continuing to win and continuing to be nominated for.
What kind of awards?
I've got the 25th of November, we've got 2 awards. 2 of our leaders have won a Best Leader Award, and we've got the Best Group Award for Aldbourne Youth Council at the Wiltshire Council Awards, Young Persons Awards. Yeah. We've then got the 6th and 7th, we're nominated for a Philip Lawrence Award. We're regional finalists, there were 200 nominations, and we're down to the last 35. If we go to London to find out if we've won. If we have won, we're the only youth group in the country to win it twice.
Well, hey!
Yeah.
So this is all good stuff. What do you give to this project then, Ray? Clearly you're learning computer skills. What do you think you bring to it?
Well, I'm involved with Sarson's Housing Association, and I've just nominated them for an award that takes place on the 8th of December, and it's for a community group that has been successful in their community. So I'm hoping they'll do well in that. I also tried to get them finance. And I'm glad that I'm part of them now, and I should continue to be, and hope we can get more older members in, because instead of pushing the youth away, I feel that we, older members, should embrace them and get them into the village. They're very interested in the village. Yeah. You see them at the church fete, you see them at the carnival, they're running a Christmas market, and it's great to see the youth.
Because the experience, there's a difference, there's a huge difference as far as I can work out between what actually happens and the way that things are portrayed, particularly in local newspapers and in television news. But the experience is always that everyone kind of generally gets along. Everyone just generally gets on with things. There are places all over Wiltshire in which young people are as actually involved in, as you say, in the local carnivals and the fetes and the community life. But it's only when the only things that get reported are when it's trouble. And people tend to react according to that rather than what they actually see in front of them. Do you think that's fair?
It's true, I think. I mean, we've got the one of the high people from Sarson came out and said that if you read it on paper, all we've done and all we've got, it doesn't really mean a lot. But when you go there, you meet us and you get involved like that, it means a lot more. And when you actually can see it firsthand and you can see what's going on, it means a lot more.
It's true. It's a fantastic thing, and as I say, it's happening in many places. You're a particularly good example of the way this kind of thing can work simply from setting something up. And as you say, that there is a bureaucratic element to all of this, which means that it's a fair amount of work and dedication to navigate your way through the extraordinary number of forms and stuff that you have to fill in. But that's the only barrier, isn't it? I mean, the amount of time you need to put in.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's certain things that you'll find tough to get through the parish council. But yeah, apart from that, there's a lot of paperwork though. I mean, you can say that's the only thing, but that takes up a hell of a lot of time. We've got Andy Devey and Hazel Keane who have won awards at the Wiltshire Wiltshire Young People Awards, who do a hell of a lot of work, especially Andy with the paperwork. There's loads of it, box files, hundreds of them.
So as long as you can get together and get that side of it sorted out, there is no reason why you couldn't be able to follow the example that you've done. You could spread this anywhere, can you? I guess you're open to giving out advice and mentoring and all that kind of stuff to other people.
Absolutely. I mean, we've always said, and we always do, go along and do presentations about how we set up, and because as much as I think an Aldbourne CAN should be in every community, I think an Aldbourne Youth Council or a Youth Council should be in every community.
Here.
And I don't see why that's not possible. I mean, if people need help, our website is aldbourneyouthcouncil.co.uk.
aldbourneyouthcouncil.co.uk,
yeah,
which you can get advice from.
You can just go on there. It's got all our contact details on there. Send us an email and we'll come out and help you. You know, I think we can help out. I think
you're right. There is no reason at all, Ray, why this shouldn't or couldn't happen anywhere.
Anywhere. I'm just amazed when I go in there in the evening and see children the age of 8 plus doing their homework, and these guys of 18 and 17 giving them a hand. Now, that's usually a barrier between that age group, but not there. And when I walk in, it's a good welcome and a cup of coffee and a little chat, and I sit down, and if I get into trouble, somebody will come along and help me.
Yeah.
And
even as you say, 18-year-olds and people who are over 45.
It's fantastic. It really, really is. Yep.
Ray Chapman, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Matt.
Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Matt Gibbs there from Aldbourne Youth Council, which is aldbourneyouthcouncil.co.uk. aldbourneyouthcouncil.co.uk. Who knows what help and advice you might find, or indeed inspiration, and they'll be happy to help you out as well. BBC Wiltshire, 2 minutes to 11. Oh, 2 minutes? All right, let's have 2 minutes of Eric Clapton.